Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and this is one you'll remember seeing probably quite a while ago if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook. So I'm going to be creating a pocket with a pull-out tag, and it's going to have like a bit of a transparency window in it as well. So I'm starting off with a rainbow stripe, as you will know, one of my favourite ways to create an instant rainbow splash of colour on a page. There isn't any gesso on this page to start off with. I'm just going straight in with the paint, and then I've got some left over, and I just tend to swipe it onto tags. I've got like a little box of tags at the side of my desk, and I can just grab those. So I know there are other people that will use up spare paint in a journal. Sometimes I do this, but more often than not I tend to just grab a tag and stick some paint that's left over on that. So this is the cover stencil from Dina Wakley, and I am using carnation paint here. So quite often when I go in with stenciling like this over the top of a very bright background colour like the rainbow swipe, I won't always use white. I like to use something that's a little bit more subtle, as in this pastel colour is not quite as much of a contrast as the white. It's a bit more gentle. And then I've gone in with the Done Is Better stencil and a little bit of black, so I've got that light and the dark there, but the white, I've not used white this time. So this is a piece of transparency from Dina's Faces and Figures set 1, and I've just cut out this piece, and then I am adding a little bit of pink onto the cheeks, a little bit of pink paint, and giving that a little gentle dry. And then this is apricot, and I am just sticking some of that sort of skin tone, this lighter skin tone, on these faces. And you can see how well that works with this. So the transparencies are great for adding paint to, and they're also they're really fun elements to add into your journal, because you get a completely different, the light plays with them in such a different way naturally because they are a little bit shiny. So then I was sticking that onto this page using some washi tape and having a bit of a deliberation here about which one to use, and I plumped for this bright rainbow one. I did end up covering it up because I decided it was too much, but it didn't matter. It just meant there were 2 layers of washi tape on there. So that's kind of making my pocket, really. I haven't done any cutting out of anything, but this transparency piece that's over the top, that is what's creating the pocket, and the washi tape is sticking that in place, making that behave like a pocket. So I am using the pensive face stencil with some black gesso on a piece of watercolour paper. Watercolour paper, naturally, it's quite a heavy weight. Works quite well for doing things like this, so you can make great tags out of it, because when you cut it down it's still quite a good weight to it, so it's not floppy is the word I want to use. Can't think of a better word right now. It's been a long day today and my brain is a bit fried, but anyway, you guys know what I mean. So I am just cutting this face down to size, because what I want to be able to do with it is to slot it into this little pocket that I have created. So here I can see like it needed to go a bit smaller, so I was cutting it down a bit more, and then that will slide into the transparency pocket that I have created. So this ends up being quite a fun page, really, because there's quite a lot of layers playing together here. So then I decided that I would just staple along that washi just to help it stay in place a bit better, because as you know, if you've played with washi tape, it isn't massively sticky. It doesn't always stay where you put it. So just adding those staples meant that it was a little bit more secure. And then I've decided to add a fabric tab onto the side of my face tag so that it's easy to pull out of the pocket. And I'm just stapling that in place too. I love the convenience of using staples. I never used to like using them in my journal at all, but I really, really like them now. And here I'm just using a Signo Uniball in white and just doing some Asemic writing, just a little bit of journaling onto that black space on the pensive faced stencil. Here you can see I am changing my mind about the washi tape. Going in with some black and white dotty one. In fact, I think I changed it again after that. I think I dithered a lot about this. I felt it was too bold with those rainbow colours. And I'm just looking at the final picture. And I have a feeling that I ended up going and using Dina's media tape and stenciling some black dots onto it. Just shows how these things evolve. So I've also stuck a washi heart on there, and then I am sticking a quote in place. It's one of the ones from Dina's printed ledgers. And I'm just using my fine tip applicator bottle to stick that in place so it's got some clear glue in. This is my favourite way to stick these small quotes onto my pages. It creates the least mess possible, which I like. Yes, so sticking that in place, then that's going to be slotting into the pocket that I've created. Here you can see, yet again, I'm faffing about with this edging of my pocket. It's going to be the best stuck in pocket ever in history, isn't it, with all these layers on, but it doesn't matter. This is often how my pages evolve. I will do something and then I think I don't really like that, it doesn't work, it's too bold, it's not bold enough, and I'll just kind of tweak it and just until I feel a little bit happier with it. And that for me is part of the fun of this. So this is a Tim Holtz stencil with these fabulous circles on. I think it might be called dotted, I'm not sure. Just using a bit of black gesso through here, just to create that kind of monochromatic black and white dotty effect, which hopefully would be a little bit calmer. And I think actually does work better with the black and white that's peeping through from the tag that I've put in the pocket as well. So this is a really fun way to create another interactive page in your journal. You don't have to do any cutting out with a craft knife. I know there are those of you who are not so confident using craft knives and find them a little bit scary. And I've even had 1 or 2 people comment on Instagram saying that they find me using a knife a bit scary. That's okay. I think I'm pretty careful, and so far I haven't actually done anything horrific, so I'm calling that a win. So far, so good. But this is a really easy page to do, and you can do this with a piece of transparency. You could even do it with a piece of cardstock. You don't have to be able to see through it to create a little pocket. You could create like half a pocket on a page and have your tag poking out. So it's another way that you can create that sort of interactive page in your journal. Lots of fun. I like this edging much better than the bright one. So this was a lot of fun to do. Lots of elements to it, really. You've got the pocket that you create with the transparencies. You've got the bright background behind, and then the pull-out tag as well. And you could even journal on the back of there too if you wanted to. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon.